The James Webb Telescope, which blocks out the overwhelming glare of Proxima Centauri itself, astronomers were able to isolate light coming from the planetary body. It was during this isolation phase that the anomaly became evident. Initial hypotheses considered standard natural explanations, reflected light from an exomoon. Lingering volcanic activity, perhaps auroral bands intensified by a magnetic field. But each of these theories fell apart under scrutiny. The brightness levels were too regular, too precisely aligned in a grid-like formation. Natural systems are chaotic, diffuse, and often dim. This light was systematic and exact. Further investigation ruled out instrumental errors. Calibration routines confirmed the accuracy of the readings. Control observations on similar exoplanets yielded no such results, further bolstering the uniqueness of what was being observed on Proxima b. The periodic nature of the light pattern appearing at regular intervals over the course of Proxima b's 11.2-day orbit made a compelling case for an intentional source. The spatial resolution suggested a wide area distribution indicating potentially massive structures or numerous points of origin. There is also the matter of spectral harmonics. Artificial light, when viewed spectrally, reveals specific peaks, narrow bands of light that correspond to the materials and technologies used to produce it. For instance, LEDs on Earth generate light that clusters tightly in certain wavelengths, different from the broad-spectrum glow of stars or the black-body radiation of warm planets. Webb's instruments picked up a fingerprint of this kind on Proxima b, narrowband spectral spikes that repeat over time, perfectly synchronized with the rotation of the planet. This leads to a multitude of profound questions. If this is indeed artificial lighting, then what does that imply about the beings responsible for it? Are they similar to us in their technological development? Do they use light in the same way, for navigation, for work, for safety, or even aesthetics? Are these city-like agglomerations like our own metropolitan zones or something entirely different? The spatial distribution might suggest a cluster of installations or settlements, or perhaps an orbital array of reflectors designed to illuminate the surface for reasons unknown. The design and magnitude of such lighting systems would imply an enormous infrastructure. It hints at the ability to generate and distribute energy on a planetary scale. This is not the random bioluminescence of alien algae or heat from tectonic fractures. It is systematic, engineered, and most of all, intentional. Civilizational development at this scale also hints at mastery over resources, political or collective organization, and possibly an understanding of astrophysics advanced enough to know they might one day be detected, and they have been. It raises philosophical and existential questions that humankind has only dared to contemplate in speculative fiction or theoretical discourse. If intelligent life exists so close to Earth, how common must it be across the galaxy? Perhaps life isn't the rare anomaly once thought, but a natural consequence of time and the right conditions. What if the galaxy is teeming with civilizations at various stages of development, and our instruments are only now catching up? Moreover, the detection of artificial light also hints at cultural aspects of the inhabitants. Artificial illumination is more than a technological feat, it is a symbol of activity, of intention, of life conducted during darkness. On Earth, city lights reflect not only infrastructure but also society, the movement of people, economic activity, recreation, governance, and culture. If something similar is happening on Proxima b, then we may be witnessing the outer expression of a living, thinking, creating civilization. There are implications for the way humanity views its place in the universe. For centuries, Earth has been the sole known cradle of intelligence. This potential revelation shatters that isolation. We are no longer the only ones who gaze into the cosmos and build tools to shape the night. The universe becomes a shared domain, not merely a backdrop for human dreams, but a stage where multiple intelligences may act simultaneously. It also raises the matter of communication. If these lights are deliberate, could they be part of an intentional effort to be seen? Perhaps not in the form of a message, but a beacon, a quiet declaration of presence. In that case, we've just become witnesses to the first line of a silent dialogue. The next logical step might be to look for modulation, variations in intensity or pattern that could suggest information being transmitted. Even without overt signaling, the discovery of artificial light is already a message. It says, "We are here." It confirms that the universe is not silent, merely patient. The idea that we've seen the glow of another civilization across the void is staggering, not only for what it reveals, but for the possibilities it opens. If artificial light can be seen from over 4 light-years away, it means our own night side glows similarly. Earth, with its oceans of cities, glows with billions of lights. We too are visible. This realization invites reflection on how humanity presents itself. Just as we now peer into the night side of Proxima b and wonder about its inhabitants, others may be doing the same with Earth. The golden hues of our cities might be as alien to them as their lights are to us. And yet, there is a common thread, a shared desire to conquer darkness with technology, to extend waking hours, to live more fully in the hours that once belonged to the stars. On the scientific front, the detection of artificial lighting on Proxima b will initiate a cascade of further studies, spectroscopic follow-ups, efforts to detect atmospheric composition, radio signal searches, and even refined measurements of planetary rotation and geography will now gain new urgency. Other observatories, including the upcoming extremely large telescope and ground-based interferometers, will be tasked with corroborating and expanding upon the discovery. There's also the question of planetary conditions. If the inhabitants of Proxima b have developed artificial lighting, what does that imply about the environment? Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf, a type of star known for violent solar flares and variable brightness. It could be that their atmosphere is thin or absent, requiring external lighting systems. Or perhaps they dwell beneath the surface, illuminating vast subterranean structures hidden from the brutal cosmic radiation above. Speculation is natural, but it is rooted now in data. The glow detected is not an ambiguous anomaly, but a reproducible, patterned phenomenon with characteristics of intentionality that marks a fundamental shift. No longer is the question whether intelligent life could exist, it becomes how it does. What kind of beings have created this illumination? Are they biological like us, or mechanical, or some combination of the two? Do they know about us? Have they detected our lights as well? Even without answers to those questions, the very fact of the detection ignites imagination. It breathes life into the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, a field long plagued by silence. For decades, the cosmos appeared empty. But now, with a telescope looking not for words or sounds but for signs of activity, we find not emptiness, but light. That changes everything. The James Webb telescope has fulfilled its promise not just as a tool for astrophysics, but as a bridge between worlds.